Well, it's St. Patrick's Day apparently. I didn't know the man. Has nothing to do with me. If you want to go enjoy it, just don't put yourself or anybody else in harm's way. Every now and then I appease the forgotten the word I'm looking for here. The compliance committee of the YTPC by doing things on the day that they're supposed to be done. So this is the closest thing I've got to St. Patrick. It's a Peterson 71. Got a little haunted bookshop in it. The other day, Pipes and Chores did a video. He mentioned going to a Kiss concert in it. There were a few comments down there. P.T. Daly, Lori B, myself. Told him I might make a video about it, so figured we'd go on a little trip down memory lane today. Why not, right? Well, first of all, I didn't always look like this. Sorry for the sniffing. I hate that. So back in about 1983, I looked like that. But just before that, I got my driver's license in 1983, actually. My first car had an 8-track tape player in it. I have 8-track tapes still. That one got a few spins, so to speak. Still in practically mint condition, except for, you know, the tape itself has been used quite a bit. But thought you guys might enjoy seeing that. But in 1981, I was in 6th grade, I think. Actually, I think I was in 7th grade when this happened. I went to the concert with a friend from 6th grade that I was still friends with. But my mother very kindly bought me a concert ticket for my birthday. My birthday is December 13th. This concert was December 14th. Remember when they looked like that? That was the Dynasty tour. And by most accounts, it was probably one of their worst tours because the band was in dissolution mode big time. There were nights where Peter Criss would just stop playing in the middle of a song just to throw everybody off. And he left not long after that. But anyway, for a 12-year-old, it was pretty dang cool. The original Kiss, pyrotechnics, blood, fire breathing, all kinds of stuff. I recently looked at the set list for that concert and was, at the time, I probably enjoyed it. Now, if I went to see them and they played that set list, I would be, I would leave disappointed. They played like 4 songs off their solo albums. They played multiple solos. They did Most of their show was based off Dynasty and the solo albums. But they did play a bunch of classic stuff. They played basically one or two songs off just about every album they had done up to that point. So it was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. Then, in '83, I would have been 15, and I would have been in 10th grade, I believe, about the time that picture was taken. That was January 27th of '83. And that would have been the Creatures of the Night tour. I cannot remember for the life of me who went to that concert with me, but I remember that one very well. I remember enjoying that one quite a bit. That was kind of their comeback tour after a couple of lackluster years. And they played some great stuff. They dug back into their old catalog, played all the classic stuff, played a couple of songs off of Creatures of the Night. I had a little Kodak 110 Instamatic camera with me at that show. I don't know if I can find those photos or not, but I took a roll of photos at that concert. Terrible photos, but just to have them, I mean, back when you could take a camera into a concert, was pretty cool. Then in January of '85, I would have been a senior in high school at this point. And I remember this concert. This was the Animalize tour. And I remember seeing that one with a buddy of mine, Philip, who had graduated a couple of years prior to that, actually. But we were big Kiss freaks. I remember at that show, somebody stuck me in the butt with a pin or a needle or something. I don't know what it was. Kind of freaked me out. Thought maybe somebody had shot me up with something or something like that. Of course, they wouldn't waste their junk on me, I guess. But that was a pretty solid show as well. That was still Eric Carr. So the last tour before that was Eric Carr and Vinnie Vincent on guitar. And this tour was Eric Carr and Bruce Kulick, who had just taken over for Mark St. John from his health issues. And then 7 years later, I saw him again. This was in '92. I believe that would have been on the Asylum tour, or Hot in the Shade, I don't remember. But that was with Eric Singer on drums. Eric Carr had passed away, and still Bruce Kulick on guitar. I saw him a fifth time, and I believe it was also in '83. I saw him twice one year. And I don't know where that ticket stub's at. But I've seen him 5 times, but it's been, what? When was the last one? '92? So it's been 27 years since I've seen him. I don't really have any desire to see him again, just because they're, I don't know. It seems to me like they're just doing it for the money anymore. But back then, some of those shows, some of those tours, the average attendance was only 6,000 people. They were doing it because they loved to play music back then. I was a big Kiss fan. When I was in 7th grade. So right around the time, probably right around that first concert, probably had something to do with that. My buddy Kenny had a bass, and he came over to my house one day, and he knew the riff to Firehouse. Boom, 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 boom. And I thought that was the coolest thing ever. And I was hooked. I got a bass not long after that. Played with that for a few months. Got a guitar. And never looked back after that. I played guitar since I was like 12 or 13 years old. I don't pick it up very much anymore. It's been a few years, but there was a number of years where that's all I did for hours and hours a day. But that's all because of Gene Simmons and Ace Frehley. They were what got me into music, really. Really into music. They were what got me into the Beatles. Because I remember an interview with Gene back in early 80s or late 70s, somewhere back in there. And he was talking about the harmonies that they used were reminiscent of the Beatles, and they sang a couple of Beatles songs, him and Paul. That got me digging into the Beatles, and then everything blew up from there. Anyway, you guys enjoy yourselves. Don't enjoy yourselves to the detriment of others tonight if you're going out. Enjoy your pipe. Ignore the hype. Rock on.